everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Gary and today we're going to be looking at one of the greatest rock and roll songs of all time. It's Jumpin Jack Flash by the Rolling Stones. So let's get straight into it and let's get nice and close up for this one. Okay, so we're in nice and up close now, and the first thing we've got to do for this one is get into tune. Like a lot of Keith Richards and Stones guitar parts, this one features an open tuning. You can play it in regular tuning, but it does sound better, I think, if you play it this way. So the song itself is in the key of B or B flat. The original recording is not quite in concert pitch, so just bear that in mind. And we're going to tune the guitar to an open E flat chord for this one. So I'm tuning my 6th string from E to E flat, if you want to tune it with me. I've tuned the 5th string A up to B flat. I've tuned the 4th string D up to an E flat. The 3rd string G, this goes down to an E flat, so 2 E flats, quite unusual. I've tuned the 2nd string B down to B flat. And finally our 1st string has gone down from E to E flat. So it should sound like this when you play an open chord. Okay, so that tuning really is the secret for this one, really. And once you've got that tuning, a lot of the chords are reduced to just open strums or bars just across with one finger. So let's get into it. I'll show you the introduction. So for our introduction chords, I'm barring across all the strings at the 7th fret. And we'll just play a few phrases of that. And then we go to the open chord. So we've got, and then I'm just taking that finger and barring across at the 5th fret, all strings again. So all together we've got this. On the original recording of this, there's more than one guitar, and one of them plays the lower bassy strings and the other plays the treble strings. If you're in a band with 2 guitars, then you can take different parts, and I'll show you some variations later on in the lesson. But if there's just one of you, then you're barring across all the strings, and I would accent different parts of the chord at different times. So sometimes, you know, sort of bring in those treble strings as well, just to give it some colour and definition. So let's just recap what we've got so far, and just bearing in mind what I've said about strumming. Here we go. And then we just stay on that 7th fret. And I'm strumming sort of up and down there, give it a bit of energy. You don't want your tone too distorted here, you'll get more definition in it that way. So it's, if you've got too much gain on it, then you can get lost sort of in all the distortion, really. So just try and keep it sort of warm, slightly overdriven, and when you put that sort of energy into the song, it will come through. Okay, so after those introduction chords, we go on to the main riff. I'll just play through it once and then we'll break it down. So all I'm doing there is just barring across at the 7th fret. I'm using my 3rd finger. I'm just doing that to make it easier for the next part really, but you could bar across with your 1st finger. All 6 strings. And then what I'm doing on the A string, and maybe the D string as well really, on the sort of 4th and 5th strings, I'm going from the 5th fret up to the 7th. So we've got and then I'm just strumming across our chord at the 5th fret. Okay, so next we're going to look at the chorus chords. They're sort of alright now, in fact it's a gas, that part of the song. And what happens here, we take our barred chord up to the 10th fret, but this time I'm just strumming from the A string, the 5th string, I'm not playing the E. I'm just strumming down them really. Then taking my pinky on the 14th fret and my 2nd or 3rd finger at the 12th fret, we get a movement like this. So I'm strumming all the strings, but just on that 1st string, I'm just playing those individual notes at the 14th and 12th frets. And then we slide that whole move down to the 5th fret. Same thing. It's a bit more of a stretch here. We've got to stretch up to the 9th fret with our pinky. You want to have your thumb on the back of the neck like that. Don't wrap your thumb around it, it makes that stretch easier. So we've got this. And then we take the whole thing up to the 12th fret for the bar, again playing just from the A string. But this time our move is slightly different. We're going from the 15th on the 2nd string. So I'm just raking across all of the strings from the A. So altogether so far for the chorus chords we've got this. And then what we're going to do is go down to the 7th fret and on the 1st string I'm just going from the 10th to the 9th. So altogether we've got this. I'll just play through it all slow. We play through that a couple of times, and on the last one we're back on our chord there. And then back into the riff. If you're in a band and there's 2 guitars, then you can play a second part while that's going on. It's a kind of droning sort of open strings bit, so I'm just playing the 10th fret of the 2nd and 3rd strings, plus the open first string. Slide that down to the 5th fret, and then bar across the first 3 strings really at the 7th fret. You could even hammer on there. So that's sort of, it's alright now, in fact it's a gas. But it sounds fine with just the main guitar part. So next we've got our middle section where just sort of the energy just drops down a little bit in the track, and the lyrics, Mick Jagger's just singing Jumpin Jack Flash, it's a gas, and you've got something like this going on. So all that's happening there, I'm just playing on the 4th, 5th and 6th strings, the bass strings, just plucking the individual strings. It's just the same kind of thing we had before really. Open, and then back on at the 5th fret. If you're just playing it with one guitar, you could probably just sort of introduce a few of the sort of thinner strings with that as well, just to colour it up a bit. There is actually another guitar part going on there. I'll just show it you in case you are playing with 2 guitars in a band. So barring across the 1st, 2nd and 3rd strings at the 7th fret, we've got this piece that kind of goes. I'm just barring across 1st, 2nd and 3rd strings there at the 7th fret, and then I'm barring at the 12th fret on the 1st and 2nd strings and playing an open 3rd string, and then just the 1st and 2nd strings at the 10th fret, 9th, and then sort of hammering on from the 7th up to the 9th. So that's Jumpin Jack Flash. I hope you'll enjoy playing it. It's a great song, it's really good fun to play. I hope you've enjoyed the lesson. If you have, please give me a thumbs up in YouTube, it helps me, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. It's going to help me to grow this. I'm looking to put loads of material out for electric and acoustic guitars. In the meantime, enjoy your guitar playing, and I'll see you soon.